Monday, November 18th, 2024. We start with the invocation from St. Mary's Catholic Church.
Let us remember that we are in the most holy presence of God. Let us pray. Father, we come before you today to give you honor and praise. You are worthy of praise. You are the source of all that is good. You are the source of all our blessings. Thank you for every gift that we have been given. We thank you for the opportunity to come and gather together this day. Thank you for every seat that has been filled here today. Thank you for calling us to serve your people of the city of Oskaloosa, for each mind and heart that fills the presence of this room. We thank you. We ask for your hand blessing in this meeting. Every project, every season, every life. Nothing is ever in vain, for even mistakes and missteps are used for good. We ask that you would guide and direct our meeting so that it is full of wisdom, productivity, and respect for one another. We ask for your guidance and strength. Show us the way and fill us with courage and wisdom. Help us to remember your love and grace and to be faithful in our service to you. Give us the patience and understanding to face life's challenges with grace. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Almond?
Here.
Algeri?
Here.
Comfort?
Here.
Ross?
Here.
Person?
Here.
Ibrahim?
Here.
Ocean?
Here.
Okay. First item up on our agenda is the opportunity for community comments. This item is reserved to receive comments from the community for concerns whether or not they're on the current agenda. The community is encouraged to speak before the mayor and city council, asked to keep statements brief, time limited to 3 minutes. Any questions are to be asked to the city staff, the council members, or the mayor prior to speaking to the full council so concerns can be properly researched and perhaps answered away from the meeting. Comments are to be directed to the mayor and city council only. I did want to throw in one additional comment here. Back on October 21st, at that meeting, council passed a resolution that scheduled a public hearing for tonight to consider an application and annexation of property in the vicinity of 1816 North 3rd Street, which is the high school, 2116 North 3rd Street over by Langcamps, and 2301 Carbonado Road, the Mauer property. The school district has withdrawn their annexation application, so that cancels any further consideration of the item. And so it's not on our agenda tonight, nor is it being considered at this point, and I don't expect it to. So anyway, with that in mind, do we have anyone who would like to speak tonight?
I'm John Banter of Mahaska County. I come here tonight because I'd like to recognize one of the council members, Rhonda Ullman, for her efforts to inform the public, be it through Pella City Council meetings or Mahaska County Supervisors meetings, the issues going on here with 911. It also is interesting to note that tomorrow night Pella will be discussing a new revised. This council has not publicly announced doing any of this. It raises questions if the council is really following Chapter 21 in open meetings in their discussions, or if they're doing private meetings, which is a violation of Chapter 21. And I guess the other thing I would like to ask or say is that quite often you can judge a character by their actions. My question to the council is, what is
Alicia Helm of Oski. It's telling that after such a heated topic of EMA 911 last meeting, there's a complete lack of it in this anyone in the county and in the city, especially going in with another city. Nothing against any other city, but response time will be added if you go with another city, and that's not exactly ideal when seconds do matter. I don't know where we go from here, but it doesn't look good. On another note, like John said, Pella's plan to discuss the 2080 tomorrow night. Who did all the legwork in restating it, and how do you plan to hold Mahaska County liable for damage as it is mentioned in there? Seems the best thing to do is to vote to get out of it and sell the land to the highest bidder. Then you can focus your efforts on things within the actual city borders like 911. Thank you.
My name is Carol Polkowski, and I reside at 830 Fox Run Lane. I have had an instance to have to use the present 911 center here in Oskaloosa. An ambulance was dispatched to our home to take me to the hospital. I feel because the present 911 center located in Oskaloosa has handled it very quickly, and now I understand the council is considering joining up with another city or county. I feel the delay caused by that would be unacceptable. In my case, I had to be flown to Des Moines and rushed to surgery. The ER doctor felt and that I could bleed out. My point is, I called to another city or county, then had to be rerouted to Oskaloosa 911 to dispatch the ambulance. The delay could have been a very serious consequence in my case and others in the future. Please find the money to keep the 911 center in Oskaloosa. Thank you for listening to me.
Thanks, Carol.
Anyone else who would like to speak tonight?
This is a little bit different topic than what has been directed here previously. Guess I need to know the policy on burden ordinance.
Ma'am, name and address, please.
My name's Rebecca Newman, and I live at 2 Hope Street
Okay.
in town. I'm calling about I'm talking about an incident that happened Wednesday. I can work about, I'd say about 10 till 6. My house full of smoke. So I didn't call 911 because it wasn't my house. I knew it was coming from somewhere else. So I called the fire department. I tried all 3 lines and nobody answered. So I thought, well, this is craziness. How do I find out what's going on in this community if when there's a fire and nobody answers? So I tried the police department, and they told me that there was a controlled burn, and they were to report that to anybody that called in. Okay, so anyway, it was later. Then the fire department came to my house, and they were driving the truck, and I was really astonished because all I did, I left a message saying, I need to know about this smoke. I need to know about policy because I have sensitivities to smoke, and it makes me very ill. And they got me to my welfare, and also to tell me that they went. That's what was the smoke that was spilling out my house. That's my neighbors by burning. I would never go get a permit to burn. We hauled 30-some loads of leaves, trees, everything off of that lot. Now, I know Bremans have the ability to haul stuff off of that lot. Do they need to be burning? I'm speaking for a lot of elderly neighbors. Yeah, I'm getting old too, but they're older than I am. And I know that these people have breathing problems also. But anyway, so I went online, between talking to the local PD and talking to before the fire department came to my house, I looked up what are the laws for burning inside city limits of Oskaloosa. And Charlie, this is what you wrote. And it said, the city of Oskaloosa has a strict burn ordinance. No person shall allow, cause, or permit open burning of combustible materials, including landscape waste. One particular fire that is allowed is a recreational fire. This means that you are allowed to cook hot dogs and s'mores in your backyard. However, a fire can't be larger than 3 by 3 by 3. A typical fire pit would be in compliance with the 3 by 3 rule. In speaking with the fire department, only dry wood should be used in a recreational fire. If your fire does become a nuisance and the fire department receives complaints of your fire, they reserve the right to extinguish your fire. As a reminder, absolutely no burning of leaves within the city.
So along with that ordinance, there is a burn permit that they can come fill out with city staff. If they have 1 acre or more, they can get a permit to burn. This was a one-day burn that this company did. It's not going to keep going on. They're not going to keep, they were clearing the area for the building that they're going to put up. We did go down, I don't know what time you called when you said nobody was ready.
It was around 6 o'clock.
Okay, I know we were down there around probably 4:15. We were down there for about a half hour looking at things. I brought the duty crew down too. We deemed that it wasn't an issue with the smoke going all over. I know they did go to her house later and explain to her that they had filled out all the permits that they needed. So, like I said, there is that provision that they can get a permit. They did fill that out correctly.
No proximities to homes or anything like that for your house?
Yeah, this wasn't anything any remotely close to any homes or anything like that.
But if people start complaining, then you can put it out.
Yep, and like I said, our staff went to her house. What I got was they didn't see what she was
Okay.
talking about. They did not perceive that to be
Okay.
as bad as what it was perceived. I'm not saying that you weren't sick or anything, but we have to make a judgment call, and that's what we did at that time.
And what they told me when they came out was that they went down there. I said, you didn't even bring the fire trucks to my house. And they said, no, we had to go get gas anyway. So we thought we'd get gas and we'd swing by your house. And I said, well, I appreciate that. And I was hacking and coughing, and they said that they went down there and there's no way they could get back in there to extinguish it because it's all mud pit back in there. And they also said that the people who now own the property said that they would not have any more fires there. And they didn't realize it would be a problem for neighbors.
So like I said, I believe this was a one-time, they were clearing that building, and
It's a one-off. Okay.
I guess my question is, if it happens again, what do I do?
Talk to staff. That's about all I can recommend.
I would say if no one answers the phone for 3 rings, I'd fair to say you could probably call 911, right? No one answers the phone, correct? I mean, you need immediate response.
if it's not an emergency, then we'll have a 911 center, just a regular non-emergency number, emergency, obviously.
Anyone else care to speak tonight? Okay, moving on. Next item up is consideration of the consent agenda. These are all items that are non-controversial in nature. They are acted upon in a single motion, second, and vote. I did want to draw council's attention to item I. This is the appointment of a representative to the Board of Adjustment Commission. Cody Schultes is named for that. We have a motion of support for the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Almond?
Yes.
Alger?
Yes.
Comfort?
Yes.
Dross?
Yes.
Crumpster?
Yes.
Ibrahim?
Yes.
Ocean?
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item A, on the regular agenda, this is to consider a resolution levying special assessment against private property for weed cutting. Let's see. This does require a public hearing. This is in accordance with Title 8, Chapter 8.20 of the City Code of the City of Oskaloosa, where certified notices were sent to the property owner. Notice was published in the Oskaloosa Herald that if approved, the property owner has 30 days from the time of filing with Mahaska County Treasurer to pay for the weed cutting in the city clerk's office. After the 30 days, it will be assessed to their property taxes with a payment schedule at 9% interest. I'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone who would like to speak to this? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Do we have a motion of support for this resolution?
So moved.
Second. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Calgery?
Yes.
Comfort?
Yes.
Drost?
Yes.
Hermsen?
Yes.
Ibrahim?
Yes.
Ocean?
Yes.
Almond?
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item B. This is to consider a resolution approving the final plat for the Career Corner subdivision. Staff has received an application for the Career Corner subdivision from Samuel and Amy Jo Career. Existing parcel, 8.43 acres, located at 2419 Newport Avenue. It meets all the qualifications to be considered a minor subdivision, as that is defined under section 16.04.020 subsection O.B of the Oskaloosa Municipal Code, and staff has confirmed that all the information required for the final plat sub been provided. Final plat includes an easement on Lot 3 of the subdivision to provide access to the existing structure on Lot 1. Planning and Zoning reviewed the application on November 4th, recommended approval of the final plat as presented. Do we have a motion of support for this final plat? Okay, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Comfort?
Yes.
Drost?
Yes.
Hermsen?
Yes.
Ibrahim?
Yes.
Ocean?
Yes.
Almond?
Yes.
Calgery?
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item C. This is to consider a resolution to approve the 2080 agreement between the City of Oskaloosa and the Iowa Alcoholic Beverages Division, also known as the ABD. So under Iowa Code Chapter 453A, and memorandum of understanding with the Iowa Department of Public Health, the Iowa ABD is authorized to provide enforcement of Iowa's tobacco, alternative nicotine, and vapor products. This proposed 2080 agreement allows the City of Oskaloosa Police Department to provide the local compliance checks on behalf of the ABD. Is levied and collected each year on properties located within the amended Oskaloosa urban renewal area. On November 4th, City Council passed a resolution amending the Oskaloosa amended and restated urban renewal plan to add anticipated projects and future development costs. The amendment also removed an area designated and approved separately for a new area. Do we have a motion of support for this first reading?
So moved. Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Hermsen?
Yes.
Ibrahim?
Yes.
Ocean?
Yes.
Almond?
Yes.
Calgery?
Yes.
Comfort?
Yes.
Drost?
Yes. Okay, that passes. Item E. This is to consider an ordinance providing the general property taxes levied and collected each year on all property located within the Edmondson North Urban Renewal Area. As mentioned, we passed the resolution on November 4th to create the new urban renewal area and plan for Edmondson North. This provides the use of tax increment financing to assist the project and construction of associated improvements. The next step is to consider an ordinance to authorize the collection of tax increment revenues within the urban renewal area. The attached ordinance has been drafted to create a TIF taxing district on the entire urban renewal area. This first reading. Okay, any discussion on this? Roll call, please.
Ibrahim?
Yes.
Ocean?
Yes.
Almond?
Yes.
Alger?
Yes.
Comfort?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Okay, that passes.
Hermanson?
You unanimous about yes. Okay. So that gets us to the end of the regular agenda. City council information. Abu, anything?
I got a chance to sit in at dispatch a couple times last week and talk to our EMA director. I think they're doing an amazing job, and I think it's, as Paul said 2 weeks ago, that it's incumbent on us to look at all options, though I think it's going to be really important that we do what we can to try to keep it here while working with our local stakeholders to try to make that a reality for everybody. So.
Okay. Rhonda?
I worked at the 911 center last Tuesday for 2 hours. Patty was there. I learned more than I realized. Those people are amazing. I couldn't believe the way every department works together. It was an amazing. I have an utter respect for the 911 center along with the EMA. I'm touring the 911 center tomorrow in Knoxville. I want to say just up front, I really appreciate everyone. I'm not going to reach everybody. I've had 700 phone calls in the last 2 weeks. I was raised differently. I was raised to always tell the truth and do the right thing. If you heard me speak this morning to the county supervisors, this is my mission. I don't care what I got to do. If we have to get in a room, shut the door, I'm not going to sacrifice anybody in the city of Oskaloosa. I never will, and I'm not going to. But I really, not being from here, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you.
No, sir. Okay. Janet?
I have some upcoming holiday events, but first of all, I want to say that Oskaloosa Main Street was a challenge grant award recipient, so the state provided 10, and Oskaloosa Main Street was awarded that. That will be for the Yarsma, for the windows that are going to go in there, so that's awesome. I believe that there were 27 applications, so to be one of the 10 chosen, just the amount of grant money that the Main Street program has brought into the community has been vital to help restore our downtown. And then we also have a lot of holiday events coming up with the Chamber in Main Street. Turn on the Lights is Saturday, November 23rd, 5:30 to 8. We have Merry Little Downtown Christmas, Saturday, November 30th, 5:30 to 7:30.
Here during council comments, so I have a few things I want to say tonight. I think if you look back at the political developments in the past few weeks, I think what kind of comes to mind for me is the term division. I think there's been a lot of talk about division at the national and local level, and I think it's a sentiment that a lot of us feel and kind of rings true. Had a adult beverage with a friend at Full Bloom Brewery last night, by the way. Highly recommend you get out there if you haven't yet. But the conversation gained a fresh perspective, and our division at its core kind of seems to be stemming from what I would call an absence of a national unifying goal. So I think if you kind of look back, take the Greatest Generation for example. Our mission was clear at the time. Peace and victory over the Axis powers. Transitioned into the winning the space race and then the Cold War. The 1990s come around. We have peace and prosperity, but that collective sense of purpose of a national goal kind of seemed to fade. And so since then, we've been navigating a fractured landscape, and I think the division that we talk about now has really just kind of become the backdrop, really for my whole life. I was born in '93. On a local level, I don't know that that same narrative holds true, though, at least not here in Oskaloosa. I think recently there's been some discussion about non-unanimous votes in the council and school board and the supervisors are signs of division, and I would disagree with that statement. I think if you take the council, for example, we're a group of 7 individuals, 8 if you count the mayor, and we each have our own perspectives and dynamics and experiences. And in many ways, we're like a family, a wonderfully dysfunctional family, but a family nonetheless. But we're not divided. I think if you look back 20 years ago at this time, our city council at the time was genuinely divided, and the results were detrimental to the community. The infighting and lack of cohesion set us back at a time when we really needed progress. That didn't happen, and there was a lot of rebuilding that had to happen. So today, I guess I see healthy conflict, and conflict is not inherently negative. It represents crucial conversations where differing opinions are aired. It's a natural and necessary part of that. And I think that this council largely rises to the challenge. The conflicts we face today are big, and they're complex issues. They're not things that have easy answers. They're not small potatoes. We're not talking about what color to paint City Hall or whether or not to put up a new traffic signal. They're big issues that are going to really have an impact on the community for years to come. But even in the midst of that disagreement, I think we really remain as a council united in one critical goal, and that's to continue to grow Oskaloosa and Mahaska County and really defy the odds that have befallen a lot of communities in rural Midwest and rural Iowa. And so for me, that's always where my focus is going to be, on what's best for Oskaloosa. And my personal leadership philosophy is quite simple, and that's doing the most good for the most people, regardless of what others may think. I think if we're doing the most good for the most people, that's what benefits Oskaloosa the most. And so as our city enters its next chapter of leadership, I think that principle is going to continue to guide my decisions. We have challenges ahead, no doubt about that, but I think we also have a lot of potential as a city and a community. And so while division might define the national stage, I guess I just want to reassure Oskaloosa that our community has a chance to show what unity and purpose can achieve. So, and also, Becky, you're not old. Just had to clarify that. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
No, I don't have anything.
Okay, Lisa?
Just a little bad news. Good news in that the Republican Party is that I've raised property taxes in Oskaloosa, which would be some trick on this count, right? That I've cost Iowa families hundreds of thousands of dollars in that. So I don't have that power, nor do I wish to have that power. I did like the alliteration of lying, Lisa. I've never been called a name except in 4th grade when I was a Lysol Lisa for some weird reason. So anyway, just for you to know, basic government, city councils are nonpartisan. I don't even know who really people are registered as. That's not our point, is we're to problem solve. And I've had more phone calls in the last week than I've had in the last year trying to problem solve in this community. So we really are working hard through some complicated issues in that we're a community, and communities necessarily are messy. So is democracy. And that. But anyway, just want to clarify that. And Brad, he did not have the playground that we have. Unfortunately, it rained all weekend, so that's to be amended.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Parting comments. First off, I wanted to let the council know that we have contacted a firm regarding a city manager search. At this point, they have responded back saying that they'd be happy to work with Oskaloosa. They had a real good experience with us the last time, and so we will proceed on that as well. And then I guess to finish up, the reminder that we as council members are in a unique position, that we, to some degree, fit the, wear the hat of a public servant. That we listen to the folks that vote for us. But yet at the same time, we are also community leaders. We set the policy. And if we're doing things right, you walk around the community and nobody knows your name because you've already done what needs to happen. So when somebody just says, yeah, I think I'll move to Oskaloosa and buy a house, the house is already there. The water comes on when you want it to. Tom Walling used to say, if you want to get people mad, find out what happens when they can't flush. A little ways. And so with that comes choices, challenges, expensive ones in a lot of ways. And so I would suggest to everyone listening that it's incumbent upon the council to consider all options. And we have done that sort of thing before, and the conversation gets heated and people get angry. We went through something like that with wastewater. And if you were following back in the day, some of our will remember that we had an option to outsource the wastewater maintenance and treatment staffing. And it was cheaper than doing it ourselves. And so we looked at it. And then we had multiple conversations, not unlike the work session we had the other night, where you have the entire staff of folks that are affected sitting around listening to the comments that are being made. And then as it was contemplated, you think, well, okay, here's what our savings is going to be. What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? And then eventually we came around to the solution of doing it in the city of Oskaloosa for a higher price with a 2080 agreement with the water department. It's the kind of thinking that is iterative in its nature, that you know, as you go back and forth and weigh, then you come to your solution. It's not a terribly graceful process, but it is one that as you go through one or two of them, you start to appreciate the beauty of its ugliness, where people are saying what's on their mind, and with mutual respect, you come to a decision. And so, as we work through the 9/11 stuff, emergency management, that's going to be a similar process, I think, where we will be considering a number of options, and there will be differences of opinion on the council. And in the end, we'll come to some sort of decision that everybody can work with. So members came on board, the first thing I told them was I would encourage you to be careful in taking a position. It's good to have an opinion, but don't take a position until you know you have all the facts. And then with those facts, we can finally come to a decision. So with that, thank you everyone for being here. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Moved. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.
I